afternoon to everybody. Good morning to the people from US and I don't know, good day, all the other people, good night, depending on the time. And for you, welcome to the Polytechnic of Milan. Politecnico di Milano, better. This is the name. This is one of, better, the most important technical university in Italy. And there are engineers, architects, and industrial designers. But then here we have, as you can see, a lot of students. Hello, ciao. And we want really to know something more with respect to the experience of YouthMappers. So what this YouthMappers network is. We want to hear something from you, Patricia, about the organization of the network, and then possibly to have also the experience of the leaders of this important network. So, Patricia, if you want to tell us what YouthMapper is, and possibly also what we have to do if you want to start a new chapter here at the Politecnico di Milano. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much, Maria, for inviting us and calling us all together. It's a very exciting moment for us because this is the first time we have attempted this incredible experience of trying to bring us together through Skype. It's not easy, as you can see, but it's definitely worth this connection. And that connection is something that we are trying to build with this YouthMappers network. YouthMappers really is trying to organize this movement of students who are revolutionizing the way we collect and use geospatial data. There are many places in the world where there's not enough good information or data to address development issues or humanitarian issues or crisis or natural disaster issues. And there is a community of people who are volunteering their time and their talents to make this change. There's a platform that we use called OpenStreetMap, and you can learn a little bit about how to use that. We will help you if you don't know already how to use that. And it's a way that we can fill in those blank spots on the map and put ourselves on the map. But this group, the YouthMappers, is a very, very special group of people because we are those students and faculty who work with those students around the world who are participating in this global movement. So that's why YouthMappers was formed. We started a little bit less than a year ago. It was about 337 days ago when we started this network. And we started with 3 universities in the United States with the support of the United States Agency for International Development. Those 3 universities are Texas Tech University, which is my university, George Washington University in Washington, D.C., and West Virginia University, which is in Morgantown, West Virginia. And then earlier this year, we opened up this process and invited anyone around the world who wanted to join in with us, and students like ours who wanted to be a part of this movement and work with each other and work on very real projects that the United States Agency for International Development is working on. So everything we do is, when we create data, we know for sure that there is somebody on the other end that is going to use that. We like to practice mapping and like to map our own campuses, but a lot of the heart of what we do gets taken up and used by the humanitarian community. So that's what we promote. Since that time, we already have 34 universities in 12 countries. You're seeing a few of them here today. And every one of these student groups are really amazing and have their own personalities, and we love working with them. We're engaging them with different kinds of projects. Some start out knowing a lot about OpenStreetMap, and they've used it in their classrooms perhaps, And those students are also able to help other students learn more and get more involved, teach them some tricks, and use that in their own groups. Some of them are just starting out. We have some groups that are very good at GIS perhaps, and then they have to learn the OpenStreetMap platform. So we're working with them like we're doing with you on Skype. We show them where we learned ourselves. We maybe tried to connect them to people in their own country that can help them get trained. And that way they can participate fully in the kinds of mapping that we're doing together. So the way that we organize is through these student chapters. We call them chapters. We really believe very strongly that students should be taking the lead on much of this work. I actually think it's not true what they say, that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, because they're really leaders today. And this is a program that where we really want to create that space and make sure that you're doing that and you have what you need to make the biggest difference that you can. Because when you're changing the map, I don't think you're just changing the edits and changing the features and the attributes on the map. You're really changing people's minds all around the world about what young people are capable of and making a difference. So we truly believe that. So what we are doing today and what we have been also doing for our chapters is getting them connected with other students like them. You can work on projects together. Perhaps you're working on a project that is happening in a country that we're mapping. Perhaps you're just connecting to try to learn more about what they're doing. We learn a lot from the students in places that you wouldn't imagine have good access, and they're tremendous mappers, so they can teach you a lot. It doesn't mean that you have to be an expert in geography or in GIS to be able to participate, because honestly the technology, and you will get to this point if you haven't been there already, the technology is very easy to learn. We use the OpenStreetMap ID editor for most of our beginning work, and then there's also another platform called geospatial, which is a little bit more technical, but both of those are very easy to use on how to understand how to put features on the map. So what kind of projects are we doing right now? The major priority that we're working on with USAID this semester is for the President's Malaria Initiative, and we're focused on Kenya. We don't have anybody from Kenya online today, but we've been connecting with the Kenyan students in our chapter at the University of Nairobi who are also working on this. The President's Malaria Initiative is trying to stem the tide of casualties and sickness that is caused by malaria, which still kills more people. It's the biggest human killer in all of history, in fact, because it touches so many people. So this project is organized, it's a multinational project trying to bring bed nets and spray campaigns to places that are at very high risk of malaria. So there are certain sections in Kenya that are under this program, but the people who are on the ground and organizing the spray campaign, as we found out, they do not have good maps. They don't know where all the houses, where are people living, where are they sleeping, because the mosquito comes at night. And there's really not a very good map of where are all of those residences and where are the roads to how to get there. So the team really needs that information to be able to conduct a very good campaign. We learned this from the beginning when they discovered that if they don't cover 80% of a community, they've just wasted all of the resources and all of their time, because the mosquitoes could just go somewhere else. So they have to reach about 80% of an area to be very effective on this. So the maps are extremely important, that we can cover all of the area and make sure that they see where everyone is living and how to get there. So the students take the imagery, the remote sensing imagery, and it gets pulled up behind the screen, and they trace the buildings where people live, they trace the roads and tag them. our team in Kenya will then go out and make sure that the maps are correct, the digital maps are correct. Why does it have to be digital? Because then we can also extract that information, count up how many residences, how much spray is needed, how many bed nets are needed, how many roads need to be traveled, how many miles, how many people need to be sent out, how much gasoline do we need to buy. These are all the kinds of decisions that get made from the data that our students are collecting and working together around the world. But I wanted to give you a couple of other examples because there's a lot of different kinds of work that we do, and I'll run through a few of those very quickly. For example, we are also working in Ecuador today. There is a volcano called Mount Cotopaxi, which has been spewing ash for quite some time, and there's an effort to try to gather data around Quito and the very populated areas that would be affected if this volcano erupts. If it erupts, the lava flow will actually restrict some of the rivers and cause massive flooding, and we need to collect information about where are all those geographic features, where are people, where are the roads, where are the bridges, because if a bridge goes out, you can't use that as an evacuation route. So these are the kinds of things that we are working with and crowdsourcing that information. Our students in Colombia who are here with us today have been participating in this effort and have created a lot of data around the volcanic threat. So we're working directly with the government in Ecuador with that and the USAID's Office for Foreign Disaster Assistance, who are going to manipulate the data. Another thing that we're working on is in Colombia, we are working with the communities there that are going to implement this historic peace agreement. That is still in process, but the communities are preparing. They need to know where are the tertiary roads, where are the smaller roads in these areas that have been very neglected because of the conflict over the last 52 years. And so we're working with the USAID's Office of Transition Initiatives and the local governments who have actually requested this information. Our students in Colombia were amazing. There's 5 chapters in Colombia. We have one today with us, and they completed the task 100% in just the first night. So we're very impressed with them and very proud of them and their participation in this historic process. We're also working in areas like Ghana, where there is a Feed the Future program. There's some food insecurities in the north region of Ghana, and the households are affected in different ways with this food insecurity. And so we're working to map the households so that the surveys and the organization can actually understand what kind of impact that they're having and make sure and adjust the programming to affect the people that need it most. There's a similar program in Bangladesh. Our students in Bangladesh are also very active. We have 3 universities so far and 2 more are going to be joining us. And they also have been working on food insecurity data. It turns out that there is a significant amount of stunting in certain parts of the country that also have a high potential for protein production. And so we're helping them not only map the cities, but also map these areas where there are fish ponds, where we could link the source of protein to where the children are showing the highest rates of stunting and malnutrition. So there's all sorts of wonderful applications going on. Everything that we do, we connect it up with the real development objective. There's someone who's waiting for this information, waiting for this data. But in the meantime, students learn a new tool. You get to participate in something real. You get to work with other students around the world, learn about issues that are very important to us as global citizens, and learn from people who are living in those places about what their lives are like and what actually is going on in other parts of the world. You have a student group already. You can just fill in the form with your information and show us that you're connected to the university. It's very important to us that you have that support from your university. It keeps you from getting in trouble, but it also provides you some resources sometimes, maybe the laboratory resources. Some universities can provide funding for activities and events. So that gives you that official connection, and that's what we ask for. We want you to work in groups because sometimes this the social part of this can help motivate, and you can learn a lot more by working in a group. So that's how come we have that structure. If you have your own group already, that's perfectly fine. Just fill in the information and you can affiliate. If you want to start your own brand new group, we have done that in a couple of places, and we can help you organize on how to write a constitution, how to write the bylaws, how to organize your officers. We have lots of advice from some of the students here today as well who have set up their new organizations on how to assign responsibilities, how to work as a team. So we can help you with that part too. It just depends on how you would like to organize yourselves, and we have a lot of different models on how to do that. And then we would work with you to make sure that we understand what your skill level is with the technology and get you the resources that you need to get up to speed and be able to contribute and participate in all of this work. Now, there's no cost, there's a lot of benefit. So basically, I'd like for you to hear from our different chapters, and maybe we can start off with South Africa. Are you ready? We can start off with South Africa.
Okay, I'm Frekan Arbia. I'm from Pretoria, South Africa. We are one of the inaugural chapters of YouthMappers. And I have to first of all say thank you to Polytechnico because they were our inspiration for our very first mapathon. In March, you used 200 kids to map, and we read about it on the Hot OSM website, and we saw you there. So thank you very much for that. It was great. Our chapter is not large. Our department is very small. We are about 40 students. I'm lucky to be the first secretary of our chapter. Unfortunately, the president couldn't join us today. I heard you said you have strikes. Well, our students are striking in South Africa at the moment, so we are locked. Most of the universities are closed till further notice, till the strikes end. So it's very difficult to get students together, but yeah, here I am. YouthMappers is great. We have spoken to Dr. Brink McCusker and Dr. Solis a lot. We have had Skype meetings like this before in June, right before our one mapathon where we had 50 school children mapping Mozambique for the initiative there regarding malaria. And so it was very fun. It's very easy. You just get people together. That's all you need. If you have labs and equipment, then most of your problems are already sorted out regarding your chapters, activities, and so forth. And it was amazing. We learned the children like 20 minutes about how it works and what they need to do, and then we just let them loose for a whole day. And I think we did about 5,000 or 4,000 changes. I'm not sure now, but yeah, that was great for a start for us as a chapter. And we had our most recent mapathon. We mapped for the Peace Corps in Botswana. We had about 34 participants from the university. Even if it's closed, some of the students rocked up. It was quite difficult to get them together, but we had a very local initiative. We called it a braai and map. So we had a barbecue and mapped. And so the problem was we didn't have any computer labs to our disposal. So those with laptops could map, but those with cell phones, we used MapSwipe. I don't know if you know that, but that also, so most of the students MapSwipe on their cell phones. So also to add the initiative of armchair mapping and participating in volunteering and such forth. So yeah, that's about the summary about what South Africa has been doing. We've had a lot of events. We try and start very young, so we targeted school children this year, above and beyond our normal student activities. so that we can start young with telling them what's GIS and how it works, and try to plant seeds so that in the future, from years from now, we still get people that said, I was a youth mapper. So yeah, it's great fun. We really enjoy it, and we need to thank Dr. Solis and her team for starting this initiative.
Thank you. Thank you a lot, Rick, and thank you for your experience.
Can we go
Then you know probably Serena as well, Serena Kutsia.
Of course.
Yes, Prof. Kutsia is the director of our Center of Geoinformatics, yes. She is our boss. So she's the one that keeps us out of trouble, as Dr. Solis said. She's the one that watches us with a close eye. But I must say, she's been enabling us and just giving us wings. She's amazing, yes.
So say hello to Serena.
I will tell her ciao. Do you have any questions? Please, you feel free to ask me any questions if you wanted to.
Questions or you want to ask later? Not for now. They want to listen also the other people, and then all the questions all together.
Great.
That's good.
Could we go to Bangladesh next? Thank you so much. We're so excited by what you're doing there in South Africa. Could we go to Bangladesh next? Please introduce yourself.
Hello everybody. I'm GM Tawhidul Islam from Bangladesh. I'm a final year student on urban and rural planning discipline in Khulna University, Bangladesh. In fact, I think Patricia has told very details on OSM and the chapter formation. So I think the knowledge is experience. So I will share some experience on my chapter and about how I enter into this chapter as a president. So basically, I am working as the president of YouthMappers, Khulna University chapter. I'm also working as a regional coordinator with some other organizations. My field of interest is geographic information system and remote sensing. In fact, I'm also doing my undergrad dissertation using this technology, and I have a great will to build my career with this. Anyway, OSM as a community mapping tool is very effective for emergency humanitarian purpose. Thanks the USAID and developers of OSM and all the contributors like me. We should be proud to be a part of this humanitarian community. Now I will share how I got introduced with OSM. I was introduced with OSM in my GS1 course in second year in my university. We do a lots of mapping in our university area. It was very detailed. Then USAID Bangladesh organized a 3-day long training on OSM in my discipline in Khulna University. I don't know, Chad Billings trained us from the OSM headquarters. Then we did lots of mapping in some disaster-prone areas in my country. After that, we opened our chapter, YouthMappers, Khulna University chapter. The main thing that influences making this chapter in some enthusiastic students in my campus, they love mapping. In fact, they were trained by the initiative of OSM and USAID Bangladesh. But some other members, in fact, we started our chapter with 35 students. Most of them are not well trained. Some of the students are from the other disciplines who are not introduced with GIS technology. So we took an initiative to train them so that it was very to our chapter. We have a plan to map a very disaster-prone areas in the southeast corner in Bangladesh. It was affected by cyclone Aila and the Sidor. Basically, we use field mapping, fieldpapers.org for our mapping purpose. These challenges we face till now are sometimes we face problems to get GPS device. We managed it using mobile GPS and Wasteman, but it didn't give a very good accuracy. So guys, we did mapping in some recent flooded areas in Bangladesh. You can search in Google about the recent flooding in Bangladesh. I think you will be able to contribute to this mapping project successfully, and I think you can contribute to the all. That's all about me and the content.
Okay, thank you. We missed just the last words, unfortunately. But okay, we understand the general idea. We understand. Thank you a lot for your experience as well.
Thank you so much, Jim, for joining us today too. I really am impressed with the students in Bangladesh. They're so active, and it's such a great example on how there is that direct connection with the real making a difference in the community. So we're really proud of your participation in the network. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
So Stella, would you like to go next?
Thank you, Patricia. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello?
Okay. Hi, once again. My name is Stella Nakacho. I'm at Makerere University in Uganda, Kampala. And I'm excited to meet you guys. I'm part of a YouthMappers chapter that was just inaugurated of recent by the Texas University. Our chapter is called YouthMappers. If you could go on the YouthMappers chapter website, perhaps you've read about us. We joined mapping just of recent. I am a student of surveying, land surveying and geomatics. So I was a little bit well versed with mapping because I do GIS and remote sensing in my course. And in my second year, because right now I'm in third year, in my second year I happened to go on a project that was slated for Uganda in the eastern region, and we were mapping financial inclusion in the eastern region of Uganda. So the project was funded by the humanitarian OpenStreetMap. So we went and mapped, and it was a great experience. So this is when we received the invitation from our coordinators and supervisors that there was an opportunity to join as YouthMappers to map the world, because it is interesting, it is nice, it's a great experience. First of all, you're going to interface with different softwares, and this is going to give you the ability to operate many of them, because some of the GIS softwares like ArcGIS are truly a bit hard if you do not have the background. But the OpenStreetMap softwares are a little easy for everyone, even those who have never seen, who do not know what GIS is, can actually use these softwares to map. This YouthMappers chapter is such a great opportunity. It's a big opportunity for all of us because we are interacting first of all here, and you guys, we are going to continue interacting always and always. Mapping the tasks, we are helping the world. We are redeeming people's lives by mapping these tasks. There are very many tasks that are occurring. Unfortunately, at first, when we had just joined, for us, we used to go on the hot tasking manager. We didn't know that there was a YouthMappers tasking manager where we had to find, but to find the tasks as YouthMappers to map, but we finally found one where we found what the task that Patricia talked about, the USAID task in Kenya, that we are mapping about malaria, but we used to map even the humanitarian open street map tasks. We still map them even up to now. Now, YouthMappers, of course, you're going to get initiated in YouthMappers or in open street mapping by signing up and obtaining an ID for yourself. You will have to go to their website and then www.openstreetmap.org, and then you have to sign up with them, create an ID for yourself, and now you can access their tasks and their background information about OpenStreetMap. OpenStreetMap it's one good movement because first of all, now me as a JS student, it's going to give me free data. And there are very, very many instances or fields in some countries, majorly my country, where we do not even have free data. For me to access that data, if I need to use it, for example, in a project, I'm going to first to go to various offices to get that data. That is bureaucracy. Time is being wasted to me to be able to access that data. But with OpenStreetMap, this is open source data, meaning I am going to access it. So that's why I was so intrigued to join and help map, because I know this data, I am going to use this data at a certain time T. So OpenStreetMap is really great. I always tell my friends that OpenStreetMap, it may not give you the benefits today, but in the future, we are going to have the benefits that we are looking forward to getting. It's a very, very good thing to continue or to join and collaborate, because we are going to make this boom for the whole world, because we shall have data accessible everywhere. We shall be able to map even disaster before it even comes. So mapping is good. I urge you to join and you get the experience. Thank you.
Thank you. So OpenStreetMap is the free map of the world. That is the part, is our map, and we can use it as we please. Okay, thank you, Stella. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to have you with us, and you can see, even though they're our newest member, they're very experienced already. So we're very happy to have you in the network and joining this movement. We have a second university in Uganda, and Joanne is with us.
I am a student at a university in Uganda, Christian University in Bali. I'm so glad to meet all of you here. I'm so happy that I was among the team that came to train us. Came in with a team of other uppers that were more experienced than we were, and that were the hot team. That's how we called them then. And when they came around, they came out with financial inclusion tasks that they passed. They gave us the skills on how we could map the different places in the eastern region of the country. So we went on mapping the financial inclusions in the eastern district of the country, and that is Uganda. We added several of them that were the banks around the schools, the health facilities, and circles. If some of you know what the circles are, that's like the money lending institutions that the local people can easily access besides the banks. So then is when we got the skills to log in with the hot team. We created our own these IDs have been helping us to edit the different places on the maps. So when you edit these places on the maps, it's like we're doing also because this is the data that we definitely need as students. This data is helpful to everyone that accesses it, and the best thing is that all accesses it freely. So when we map to these places, we both see different people, the different people from the different organizations from the country, like from the UBOs, that deals with the statistics, and they shared a lot with us. And right now, I feel it's so good, and I'm so passionate about it, because when we joined the mapping, we exposed to different people in different fields, to bring forward to different places to talk about ourselves and also teach other people mapping. Like this year around June, we initiated a new university into mapping. So taught them how to map. That made me so proud, because I was also putting out a skill that I was given freely and helping someone else get this freely and know how to use it. And this made me so happy, because then a different university was also initiated, and this university also is underway of creating their own chapter so that they can be part of the mapping team. So I felt so proud, and like in my university, when we used to talk about maps, most of the people used to refer us to Google Maps. Like if you've done mapping, it was always Google. But then when these people got us about the OSM maps, like OSM has more data than even Google has, because you can go to places that Google hasn't identified yet. Like the western of the country, there are places that are not identified by Google, but fortunately, OSM Maps has it on board. So how we all it out in our university is that we always carry mapathons. We do mapathons at every last Saturday of a month, like the previous Saturday, last month. We had a mapathon where we introduce people to basically the basics, because there is nowhere you can get to GIS without basics, like the usual basics of mapping. So when we introduced these people to mapping, they also created their own IDs and then started mapping with us, and that made them so happy, and whatever it is that effort we are doing to make them part of the team of mappers, because we call ourselves a family that is fighting for another family that we've not met yet. We also had a mapathon, and then we were mapping the Suna area in Kenya, about the mosquito that Patricia was talking about. So we did some edits there, and hopefully these people that are planning to spread the area will start with some simplicity, and this they have the data that we've managed to add onto the map. And also, like this afternoon, we've been mapping Haiti, the incident of Hurricane Matthew. We also had the task was basically for adding buildings, and that's what we did. And it was a mapathon, and we had fun. It was so amazing. So right now, what we are looking forward to is the next coming Geo Week.
Thank you so much. It's very important what you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us today, John. So we have one more group of students from Colombia.
Hello, my name is Natalia Huda. I am the coordinator of the UDA chapter from the chapter is organized inside a research group belonging to the environment school, where you have civil engineering, as also a specialization in environmental and we have this from the such as geomatics and GIS that served us for the work we are developing now with YouthMappers, because we have been developing a great job with commercial programs, but our object now is the chapter to introduce the use of open source classroom, in research, and in thesis also. Universidade Antioquia became part of YouthMappers last August 26 with a mapathon of tertiary roads in Santander department. In this occasion we had 14 students mapping it. We participate with Universidade de los Andes, and we had 6 groups of students working mapping Santander tertiary routes. We had a student that won Best Mappers category, and a group that second place of Best Group. And this was our first mapathon. In the second activity we participate in YouthMappers was the Cotopaxi volcano and Latacunga mapathon in Ecuador, activity linked to habitat tree, and in this event we had 48 students mapping at the same time. And last week, November 2, Tech University in Uriri, Kenya, with 13 students. We also have recent graduate students interested in our GIS Day. The GIS Day from the Universidad de Antioquia. We hope, we expected to this activity by YouTube or other media, and we expect that anyone interested can participate and see how we our event. Thank you so much.